My husband cheated. But his first thought wasn't divorcing me, instead he tricked me into getting pregnant. Wanting to use a child to chain me down so he could keep his family while fooling around. As he put it, the mistress was just fun while I remained his true love. Me? Acting like some toxic CEO wannabe without the credentials. I divorced his ass immediately. Later, when his mistress ruined his reputation and gave him STDs, he came crawling back. Me, get lost. I'm not a trash bin. At 5 months pregnant, Ethan's mistress sent me their intimate photo with voice messages. His voice dripped disgust. Looking at Ivy's face makes me sick, swollen like overproofed dough. Her belly's already got stretch marks at 5 months. Disgusting earthworm patterns. Those tree trunk legs could crush me if she rolls over at night. Then came his pathetic attempt at flattery. You're perfect. Babe, long legs. Tiny waist, the rest was too explicit for civilized ears. The mistress taunted, Ethan thinks you're a bloated hag. We're soulmates. That cutesy Tilda made me want to punch through my phone. Regardless of their true love, Ethan's contempt radiated hotter than Chernobyl. I rushed to the mirror. 5 feet 5 inches. 165 pounds while carrying twins, calling me fat. That cheating maggot projected harder than IMAX. Fingers flying. I texted, Ethan. You walking toothpick, dare call me. When the hospital called, he'd crashed his car during our drama. Me? Couldn't even let me finish cursing him out. I snapped, wrong number. Stop scamming. Hung up and kept typing rage texts until they redialed thrice. Finally screamed, quit your damn cold calling hustle. Silence. Now calm. I reconsidered our history. Ethan lived upstairs growing up. Same schools, K-12 though different classes. College separated us. But reconnecting at 25 felt kismet. Fresh off collegiate failures. His sudden attentions felt like salvation during my corporate hazing. Gaming sessions turned to movie dates where he blurted, Ivy, loved you since high school. Turned out his years of secret affection expired faster than milk. 2 years married. And my pregnancy became his excuse to screw some yoga instructor half his width. Joke's on him, those tree trunk legs carried me straight to divorce court while his total BMW left him begging for my insurance coverage. According to him, every time Ethan saw me, he'd smile. He thought my smile was beautiful, which made him develop a secret crush. I was confused. During high school, we never had any significant interactions. Did he really fall for me just because of my smile? Still, I accepted his confession. My affection for Ethan grew gradually through his patient companionship over time. Plus, he happened to match my exact physical preferences. After getting together, we rarely fought. Ethan wasn't the domineering type, and I wasn't prone to unreasonable demands. Both families were thrilled when they learned about our relationship. My father, who'd worried about me moving far away after Mom's passing, was especially relieved I'd chosen someone from our own apartment building. We married 2 years later. Both sets of parents insisted on splitting costs equally for our car and house, each fearing the other family might feel shortchanged. These past 3 years of marriage had been smooth. Unlike typical meddling mothers-in-law, Sarah never pressured us about children or criticized me. Whenever minor arguments arose, she'd always take my side against her own son, just as my father consistently supported Ethan over me. That's why I couldn't comprehend why Ethan would cheat. What drove him to this? After collecting myself, I entered the study to search his computer for evidence. Our mutual trust meant he'd kept the same password despite his infidelity. The moment I logged into his WeChat, my blood ran cold. Though he deleted earlier conversations with Lily. Today's messages alone could fill an erotic novel. If that earlier call wasn't a scam, Ethan's car crash likely happened while he was texting Lily. Their last exchange showed her sending lingerie photos asking how much longer. As he drove, my last shred of hope shattered. When Sarah called 30 minutes later confirming Ethan's critical condition at People's Hospital, I went. If they needed consent to terminate treatment, I'd sign immediately. At the ER. Mr. Brown paced anxiously while Sarah wept uncontrollably. Spotting me. She clutched my hands desperately. Ivy. What should we do? The doctor said. Don't panic. Sarah. I calmly advised, using her first name as usual. We need you strong right now. Despite Ethan's betrayal, Sarah had truly been a second mother, delivering my favorite snacks across town during pregnancy, stocking our fridge daily, even transferring monthly happiness funds I had to physically accept. Our reciprocal care made this betrayal doubly cruel. Though our family ties would end with Ethan's infidelity, I spared Sarah this revelation. Some wounds need no salt. But Ivy was relentless. She didn't know about Ethan's car accident yet. Probably because Ethan hadn't shown up as promised. She assumed I'd called him back and started bombarding me with messages. Lily, Ivy. Ethan already hates you. Have some dignity and let him go. Lily, Ivy. If I were you, I'd get an abortion and divorce him immediately. At least save face. Lily, did you drag Ethan back? You're pathetic, forcing a man who doesn't love you to stay. I was too busy comforting Sarah, who was distraught, to reply immediately. Lily escalated things, rambling about her love story with Ethan. To summarize, Ethan was an executive at her company. 3 years ago, she'd fallen for him at first sight, not realizing he was married. Though he initially rejected her, he kept helping her at work. Within years, he'd promoted her to manager, and their relationship blossomed. A year ago, during a company dinner, Lily drunkenly confessed again, and Ethan reciprocated. After that, he took her on every business trip for alone time. They'd planned for him to divorce me early this year, until I got pregnant. According to Lily, Ethan only stayed because of the baby. Lily had the audacity to sneer Ivy. How low, using a pregnancy to trap him. I ignored her rant, screenshot everything, and replied, if you're going to be a rat, stay in your hole. I knew Lily. I'd met her at Ethan's company events. Around me, she'd never interacted much with him, so I'd never suspected anything. But her story didn't add up. The pregnancy wasn't my idea. Ethan had pushed for it, saying I'd be 28, nearing advanced maternal age. Sarah and my dad promised to help with the baby, even offering to let it take my last name. That's why I agreed. None of that mattered now. What mattered was whether Ethan survived. If he died, Lily meant nothing. I'd abort and inherit his estate. If he lived, I'd deal with both of them. Ethan's stubborn. After 5-hour surgery, he stabilized, broken bones. No major organ damage. Staring at his bandaged, unconscious body, I felt only regret. Sarah slumped in relief, urging me, you're pregnant, go home and rest. We'll watch him. I left, booked an abortion appointment online, and returned the next morning for pre-op tests. But first, I checked Ethan's room. There, in the hallway, stood Lily, chatting casually with Sarah. Worse, Lily called her mom. Lily, Mom, is Ethan okay? Sarah glanced around nervously. Lily, if Ivy comes, don't call me that. She'll suspect something. Lily pouted. Mom, that's unfair. Ivy and I are both your daughters-in-law. Why do you only care about her? Sarah Brown didn't know Lily had already confronted me face to face. She continued, Ivy's pregnant now and shouldn't be stressed. Me? So Sarah had always known about Ethan's affair? Their whole family had been deceiving me. The fool? I nearly laughed at the absurdity. Honestly, Lily might be the most skilled mistress I've ever seen, not only manipulating the man but also charming his mother. What puzzled me was why she'd stayed hidden this long before suddenly revealing herself. The truth soon became clear. I'd originally assumed Sarah was unaware of Ethan's infidelity and didn't want to add to her burdens during his hospitalization. But since she'd known all along, I called out to Sarah from behind them, thoroughly enjoying the discomfort this would cause. Both women turned, frozen in shock. Sarah recovered first. Flustered. Ivy. You're here early? Me, had to catch the premiere of your new mother-daughter drama. Sarah, darling. It's not what you think. She blurted. Lily's just my goddaughter. She desperately turned to Lily. Tell her. You're only my goddaughter. Right? Lily met my gaze silently, breaking the awkward tension. I helpfully explained. Don't worry about shocking me. Sarah. Lily already shared details of her relationship with Ethan yesterday. Even sent their intimate photos. Sarah's face darkened as she wheeled on Lily. Have you lost your mind? Why would you joke like that with your sister-in-law? Lily. I cut through the theatrics. Since your new daughter-in-law's here to care for Ethan, I'll take my leave. I turned toward the hospital's west wing. Sarah moved to follow. But Lily's declaration stopped her cold. Mom. I'm pregnant too. Aw. Now the confrontation made sense. She wanted me gone. 3 days later, Dad accompanied me to the abortion clinic. Before the procedure, he stormed into Ethan's hospital room upon learning about the affair and the mistress's pregnancy. You heartless bastard. Dad jabbed a finger at Ethan's face. My daughter gave you everything. She's carrying your child and you're out fucking around? If you fell out of love, you file for divorce like a decent human. Ethan had the audacity to whine. Dad. It was just a momentary weakness. I still love Ivy deeply. Dad's palm connected with Ethan's cheek. Don't you dare call me Dad. You piece of shit. Sarah immediately switched tactics. Shielding her son. How dare you assault my boy? He's barely through the critical period. We'll sue if there's complications. The arriving doctor defused the situation. Dad led me away, tears glistening as we reached the doors. Sweetheart. He pleaded. The risks. Let's keep the baby. I'll support you both after the divorce. I refused. Though I already felt the 5-month-old fetus moving. Bringing this child into Ethan's toxic orbit would create endless problems. The baby deserved better than a broken home and legal battles. The procedure went smoothly. During my 3-day recovery, Sarah cornered me while Dad fetched food. All pretense dropped. She spat venom. We treated you like gold. I waited on you hand and foot during your pregnancy. Gave you money. And you kill our grandchild over some trivial affair? You'll regret this. No decent man wants damaged goods. You're like a haunted house no buyer will touch. She said. Besides, what man doesn't have some flings outside? As long as he comes home, his heart is still with you. But you had to be dramatic over such trivial matters. Even abandoning your own child. Weak from surgery. I lacked energy to argue. Staring at Sarah's drastic change in demeanor, I coldly responded. Your precious Ethan cheated. Yet you're blaming me? If you're not mentally ill, then I sincerely hope you'll get to nurse your husband's mistress through her pregnancy someday and live under one roof with their love child. Sarah. After consideration, I added, if you dare spout one more word here, I'll personally find your husband a mistress after discharge. Guaranteed you'll be changing diapers for his illegitimate brat next year. Sarah stormed out. Only during divorce negotiations with Ethan after my recovery did I understand her sudden personality shift and why Lily had escalated her provocations. Firstly, Lily was pregnant. Secondly, she'd seen Ethan's messages with Sarah, realizing he'd never leave me unless forced. When I served divorce papers, our split seemed straightforward: no children. Only joint assets including the $20,000 Ethan had spent on Lily. During my investigation, I'd uncovered darker secrets too, though irrelevant to our settlement. I demanded full repayment of marital funds wasted on Lily, plus equal division of property. Both families could afford buyouts. Yet Ethan refused. Clinging to hollow declarations, "We've built so much together. Lily meant nothing, you're my true love." His hypocrisy enraged me. Ethan, when's the last time you checked a mirror? With that basic face and 5-figure savings. You think you're some CEO material? Stop cosplaying a tycoon and get real. Normal men don't catch CEO delusions. Wanting both wife and mistress? Even trashy novels wouldn't stomach this plot. Ethan, despite my fury, he kept begging for reconciliation. As I prepared to scorch earth his career, Lily intervened. Frustrated by delayed divorce, she forwarded months of Brown family schematics. The messages chilled me. Their two-faced plot began last year when Lily demanded marriage. Ethan and Sarah conspired to trap me via pregnancy, calculating motherhood would chain me through future affairs. Sarah's blueprint was meticulous. Once she births your child, she'll tolerate anything. If she rebels, make her quit work. Her dead mother can't help. And no father raises babies. She'll have no choice but obedience. Their machinations explained the sudden pregnancy pressure and career sabotage attempts. Every tenderness had been calculated manipulation. In that case, even if I insisted on filing for divorce, as a mother without income, custody would never be granted to me. For my child's sake, I'd have to tolerate Ethan's affair with that mistress. Even if I somehow divorced him, our child still bears my family name. My father's properties and inheritance would ultimately go to my kid. Ethan wouldn't lose anything either way. Regarding Lily, Sarah's advice was to keep stringing her along emotionally. Since Lily's hopelessly in love with Ethan, sweet talking would maintain her as his secret mistress while preserving our marriage. After sending me screenshots of Ethan and Sarah's scheming, Lily added, "I know I'm being played, but I can't let go. Now that I'm pregnant, I won't let my child be labeled illegitimate from birth." Her delusions didn't concern me anymore. What chilled me was realizing Sarah had been giving me living expenses since my pregnancy to keep me unemployed. The implications made me break into cold sweat. Ethan was refusing divorce to claim my family's assets. When I confronted him, the shameless bastard demanded, "Ivy, I'll only agree to divorce if you forfeit all marital assets. Otherwise, we stay married." I laughed bitterly. "You cheating bastard think you can make me leave with nothing? Have you lost your damn mind? Where's your basic decency?" He stonewalled. Fine. If he wanted war, he'd get war. Next morning, I printed all their incriminating chat records and distributed copies to every employee at his company. I flooded our family group chats with the evidence to my original wedding gift for his eventual remarriage. Ethan threatened to sue for privacy violation. I sneered, "Go ahead. I'll gladly pay the fine and apologize with giant banners outside your office." The image of public humiliation silenced him. Sarah stormed into my father's home, shrieking, "Ivy, airing dirty laundry like this, have you no shame? Watching you squirm brings me joy." I countered, "You schemed to steal my family's wealth. Now suffer the consequences. Make Ethan divorce me immediately, or I'll camp outside his office until he's fired." The threat worked. Ethan's 6-figure executive position was too valuable to risk. Next day, he caved. We split assets 50-50, though he kept the house and car. Lily returned the $20,000 he'd spent on her. She needed the Brown family's home for her pregnancy anyway. Smart girl knew future earnings would compensate. At our divorce appointment a month later, Lily tagged along nervously, paranoid we might reconcile. Ironically, I owed my escape to her home-wrecking ambitions. As we finalized the paperwork, I almost pitted her. She'd won a cheating husband and manipulative mother-in-law. The real victory was mine. But I detest homewreckers. She's now 3 months pregnant. Despite her desperate attempts to maintain her figure, the baby bump's already showing. After Ethan and I finalized our divorce at the courthouse, I told Lily, "Congratulations, Lily. Soon Ethan will be disgusted by your mooncake round face. Those earthworm-like stretch marks. And terrified your tree trunk legs might crush him in his sleep." Lily choked on her words. Feeling charitable, I added, "You went through so much trouble stealing this trash from me. Better keep it close before someone else snatches it away." Lily's face darkened with satisfaction. Little did she know, this was merely the opening act. Post-divorce, I took time off to visit Lily's parents. Then I anonymously tipped off Ethan's corporate rivals about his past financial manipulations to promote Lily at work. Though the Brown family company had tolerated Ethan's earlier scandals due to his competence, these new revelations got him fired months later. The former six-figure executive became unemployed overnight. Lily lost her job too. Rumor has it their apartment now echoes with daily screaming matches. Whenever I saw Sarah in our neighborhood, I'd loudly tell my father, "Seems Ethan found his kryptonite in that mistress, she destroyed his career." After several such observations, Sarah turned against Lily. When Lily's baby arrived, the Brown matriarch refused to help with childcare or expenses, forcing Lily into the same humiliating housewife role Sarah once tried trapping me in. Over a year later during overtime, I spotted Lily clutching her toddler at the complex entrance. She'd ballooned in size. Her sallow complexion a far cry from the polished homewrecker who'd taunted me. Ethan was berating her, "Look at yourself. Lily, you think I want people seeing this hag? My friends would think I'm dating my mother." He stormed off after blaming her for embarrassing him at Sarah's birthday dinner. Doubling back, I smirked. How romantic. True love means shouting matches and public humiliation, right? Epilogue. Regret consumed Ethan since marrying Lily. His new wife invaded every privacy, compulsively checking his devices, attacking any female contact, weaponizing tears at slightest criticism. The sweet mistress had transformed into a shrieking harpy. Her constant refrain? "I disowned my family for you." Thanks to Ivy's scorched earth tactics post-divorce, Lily's conservative parents had cut ties after the entire extended family learned of her affair. Now trapped in a joyless marriage, Lily's insecurities birthed endless fights. Ethan initially tolerated her pregnancy hormones and drama, but her behavior kept escalating even when I worked overtime, went out with clients to discuss deals, and came home a few hours late. Lily would call me hundreds of times demanding to know where I was and what I was doing. The constant suspicion exhausted me. Whenever I lost my temper, she'd immediately start listing all the sacrifices she'd made for me. I grew sick of hearing it. Our arguments escalated. I yelled, "I'm just working late. If there's no trust left, why are we even together?" She screamed louder, "Working late? Who knows which woman's bed you're warming this time? Can you be reasonable for once?" I snapped. Her retort came sharp and precise. "Me? Unreasonable? Weren't you sleeping with me while telling Ivy you were working late back when you were still married?" I froze. Things worsened when my professional rival discovered my marriage to Lily and dug up my past favors for her. We both got fired, me immediately, and Lily despite being on maternity leave. Suddenly jobless with a newborn. The financial pressure crushed me while her paranoia continued unchecked. When I went job hunting, she actually started tailing me. Our fights became endless cycles. Frustrated, I began escaping to my mother Sarah's house. Sarah always called Lily to berate her afterward. My mother had despised Lily since the pregnancy revelation destroyed my marriage to Ivy. Sarah called Lily selfish for ignoring her advice about waiting until after Ivy's delivery to expose our affair, a move that caused Ivy to abort our child and divorce me. "We could have kept the apartment and savings if you'd listened," Sarah often complained. Lily's family situation didn't help. Not being an only child meant her parents' assets would eventually be divided, leaving us with little. Yet Lily kept clashing with Sarah. During one explosive fight, Sarah sneered, "Homewreckers shouldn't flaunt their shame." Lily shot back. Greedy old hag trying to profit from every situation. Our rushed courthouse wedding happened without family present. Sarah only agreed because Lily was pregnant. After my termination, Sarah's contempt overflowed. Lily's bad luck ruined your career. Everything went downhill since you left Ivy. She said this to Lily's face repeatedly until Lily finally snapped. Postpartum Lily became increasingly volatile. Trapped at home with our son. She complained about being excluded from work events and family gatherings. Oblivious to how her 170-pound postpartum weight made relatives whisper. At a cousin's wedding we attended during her pregnancy. Polite smiles had harsh judgments. Later, I overheard relatives gossiping. He left gorgeous Ivy for that frumpy mistress? Sarah's scheming backfired, trying to steal the ex's inheritance only to get this train wreck instead. Others mocked. Serves them right for that perfect family act. Lily's latest tirade ended with, "Ethan, I must have been blind as a bat to choose you. No money. No looks. Always absent." I laughed bitterly. Why did you pick me? Let's be honest. Her love at first sight story was nonsense. As a junior manager, I'd been her ladder to climb. Older executives were either ancient or female. The neglected daughter of traditional parents. She'd latched onto my casual kindness. I'd taken the bait, enjoying her discretion around Ivy and how she charmed Sarah with gifts. Our mutual exploitation began. Now, trapped in this toxic spiral, I wonder how two opportunists ever thought this could work. The baby cries again. Lily glares, waiting for me to fix the bottle. Sarah's latest text pings, "Come home. Let that ungrateful whale handle her own mess." Outside, rain starts falling. I reach for the formula can, counting the hours until my next escape. I never blamed Lily for later becoming greedy and destroying my family, causing my divorce and getting me fired. After being terminated, my reputation in the entire industry was ruined, forcing me to start over in a new field. Now she's the one resenting me first. My anger grew as I spoke. If it weren't for you, I'd still be making $300,000 annually. Would I need this shitty $7,000 per month job where I'm constantly disrespected? Lily remained silent. Her lips pressed tightly. We entered a 3-month Cold War during which I barely came home. It wasn't until Sarah's birthday dinner invitation that I reconciled with Lily and brought her along. When Sarah casually remarked that Lily's gift seemed cheap, Lily exploded at the birthday party. "How dare you complain? Your son only gives me $3,000 monthly that's supposed to cover our child's expenses. His food. And his drinks. Why don't you call your own son a loser?" Her outburst became family gossip, humiliating me publicly. The argument continued as we left Sarah's house, leading to 6 months of complete estrangement. We only reconciled when our son was hospitalized. Post-recovery, Lily changed dramatically. She lost weight, became calmer, stopped monitoring my phone and computer, not that she knew my passwords anymore. We agreed she'd return to work after our son started school. I thought we'd finally found balance. Then came the persistent low fever. The HIV diagnosis explained everything. Lily had cheated with an infected man. Yet she showed no remorse. Screaming, "Ethan, how dare you judge me? Your pathetic $3,000 couldn't even cover baby formula. Let's be real, other men raised your son. You've got no right to bark at me." 3 months later, our divorce finalized with custody going to me and Sarah. During a visit to my son, I saw Ivy in a flowy dress, radiant in the crowd like the girl I'd loved in high school. My greed had destroyed us then. Now, consumed by bitterness and regret, I realized it was too late. Mutual friends told me Ivy had posted on social media after learning about Lily's infidelity. LOL. Cheaters always get cheated on eventually.